Welcome back to Daytime, everyone. March is Pet Poison Prevention Month, and Jenn Fadal, the pack mom, is here with tips to keep our pets safe from dangerous household items lurking in every corner.
Welcome back, Jen. And I got to tell you something. We think of these things as being unsafe for our children, but we have to also think of our pets, because they can get into everything.
You know, I mean, if you had my dogs who could care less about anything really, these are not concerns. But if you have a puppy that's just over anxious and very, very interested and nosy, that's when you need to be concerned.
My dogs still like to go into the garbage cans, and they love to get out Kleenexes.
There you go, and rip them to shreds.
Freebie rips them to shreds, and Nigel, he always comes around the corner with a big wad of Kleenex in his mouth.
My small dog does that too. Yeah. And the more disgusting, the better for them.
Exactly.
So what should we look out for? I mean, you've got, what do you have here? Some beer, some aspirin?
Okay, well, believe it or not, a lot of people that I know, they think it's cool to let their dog drink the beer that they're drinking, and it's really not.
No.
It can be toxic. So are so many of the foods that are in our house, like large quantities of onion or garlic, salt, large quantities of sugar, medicines in our cabinet that, you know, you may think, oh, my dog is having, my dog seems like he's not feeling that well, let me give him a piece of an aspirin or an Aleve, and that's not good.
Not good. No. Chocolate also is very bad for dogs, right?
Chocolate, and you know, the darker the chocolate, the worse. So if it has a higher amount of cocoa, a 3-ounce bar of chocolate could be fatal for a 25-pound dog of dark chocolate.
Oh, that's scary.
So it is scary.
Now, if you find that your dog has ingested chocolate, I've heard that if you keep charcoal at home, it'll help absorb the toxins. Is that true?
It is. If you have activated charcoal at home, it will help absorb. Some vets will recommend, depending on what they eat, that they need to be fed hydrogen peroxide to make them actually vomit.
Oh.
But before you do either of those things, call your vet or call your poison control line.
Definitely.
Okay, household cleaners. That you know, my dog can actually open up doors and open up cabinets, so you really have to be careful.
You have to be careful. And in your garage, if you have a garage and you have leakage, oil leakage, antifreeze leakage on the ground, and you have a very nosy pet that wants to just lick every surface, that is extremely dangerous.
Antifreeze will cats and dogs, because it's sweet.
Oh, it's sweet,
they'll go right
and they're attracted to it.
And what about the floor cleaner that's used on your, say, your hardwood or your tile floor, and then they lick some, you know, food up off of that? Is that dangerous for them? Usually
not so much, unless they were really like drinking large quantities of that. But just to be safe, if you have pets and kids, you know, vinegar and water is a great way to clean your floors.
What about the dryer sheets? I'm noticing those up there. Is that a problem?
That's another problem, especially if you have dogs like yours and mine that like to tear tissue. That's a perfect thing for them to want to tear.
Is that toxic?
It is. Ew. It is. You know, and signs, and let's talk plants really quick. I mean, there are probably over 100 plants that are toxic. Not that we're going to have these all in our backyard, but there are probably a top 10 that many of us do.
So
oleander
is one of them, right?
Is one, and that is, the dogs only need a tiny amount before their toxicity level is through the roof.
Ooh, there's a type of palm too, right?
Sago palm.
Sago palm, really dangerous. And I see them on so many front yards because they're really decorative. They're small.
They're beautiful. They're small and extremely toxic.
And we've always heard that poinsettias are poisonous. Not so much?
Not so much. I mean, if they eat a lot of it, they're going to get digestive upset, certainly, but it's not going to kill your dog.
Okay.
Or cat.
Now, you say, what have you got over there? You've got medicines in a bag?
Okay, so a lot of people like me have a medicine cabinet or a counter that they have everybody's medicine, the babies, the dogs, and theirs. And I have to say, sometimes at 12 o'clock when I'm trying to get medicine for someone, I get confused. So label it, label the bags, keep everybody separate.
Good stuff.
And it also keeps it out of the way of the dogs.
Keep everything up and away.
Jenn Fadal, always good to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
Jen.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Daytime right after this.
Good.